Hello and welcome to the Impact Dynamics podcast.
I'm Andy Little.
I'm Rusty.
Yeah, tonight we're talking about precision rifle, PRS, and I burn out a barrel.
And you stole my line. That's what I meant to do. Let's get into it, Andy. Who cares?
Yeah, let's do it.
Match director, mate. Match director. Hello, Andy.
Hooray!
Hooray. Hope that's enough.
We need your vote.
Now we've caught up to where we are on the podcast.
All right, go on back.
Roll the outro. That's your cue, Andy. I figured you'd taken the show over. Go for it.
Oh, yeah.
You
All right,
start.
well, tonight there's been some interesting stuff happening. What are we doing?
I don't know. No, that's it. That's okay.
No, that's it.
All right.
I thought I put that on silent. Hey, look, we're live.
All right, so there's a there's probably a reason that I might. Hello everyone. Hello Andy.
Hello.
How you going?
I'm doing well.
Good. Josh is here,
I am here.
Good.
We are tucked away in the background.
and Remy's here as well.
Hello.
What's going on?
Not much.
You here to
learning.
keep Josh on track?
Yep. Keep him in line.
Yeah, something
Very
like that.
very good.
Someone has to.
Hey Andy, we had new music at the top of the show.
Yeah. I wasn't ready.
We kept, I could tell, kept getting copyright strikes on the other one because it's licensed for the Impact Dynamics channel, but not for the podcast channel. So we've got different music. This is
Technical
This
difficulties.
is getting into the technical side of the world. Anyway, not to worry. Then I think that's what threw you. What did you just do?
Oh, there's a bit of like fluff just floating around in front of me, so I just grabbed
That was
it.
like a ninja grab, like with chopsticks without the chopsticks.
You'll
I'm
see it in the
impressed.
camera. If you watch that back, there'll be like a little bit of fluff right about there.
That is all I'm going to do is watch that back. That's pretty much it. I've forgotten what we're talking about. Anyways, a few little changes, and we're back. What was the last? We covered the match. We did cover the match because Plushy was here to talk
Plushy
about
was
it.
here. Yep.
Provided some useful information,
That's it.
and we were here as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hang
So-
on, what?
So
we had 10 minutes of useful information.
we did, and we edited it out because we wouldn't want that information getting out there. We would not allow that to happen.
That's it.
Hey, we find ourselves about a week out from the next match, the next PRS match.
Yeah, we do.
Which is the Barras Cold Still Open, which
Yes.
at Mildura, which is the where PRS in Australia was effectively kicked off.
Yeah, this is the second match.
The second match. Oh, the second match for the year.
Yeah, second PRS match.
I was
for
reminiscing
for
back
this
to
year.
2017.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I was in a different world.
Different world.
It is match number 2.
Match number 2.
And moments ago, meaning like an hour ago, the next match, the gun sport trading Winter Classic sold out in 20 minutes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's solid. That's always a popular one. That range is very nice.
It's a very small match. That is one of the problems / reasons that one goes so quickly.
Yep.
So unfortunately, if you were hoping to shoot that and you didn't get on the wait list.
Yeah, if you're listening to this live, you're too late.
And if you're listening to this
Not live.
unfortunately, it's gone.
Yep.
But it wasn't as long as last year. Last year it sold out. It wasn't as short as last year. It sold out in 8 minutes last year. Wow. So it was good to have a little bit more time this time around. But anyway, it's full. So there
good.
we go. Something to look forward to. Andy, are you excited about Mildura?
I am. I'm very excited.
What have you done to prepare?
Try and figure out how cooked my barrel is and try and work up
okay.
a new load for it.
Okay, well, this just slow it down, all right? Just
all right.
slow it down. Let's. We had a question. Come through.
Okay.
And this was relevant, but I just can't remember which Instagram account it was on.
I can't guarantee a good answer, but
Actually, I think you can guarantee an answer which is ample.
Yep.
Which is ample. Okay, here it is.
Is this
Here's
a yes
the
or
question.
no? Yes or no question?
It's from Paul. Got a good question. Oh, you already knows this is a good question.
Yes, answered. Done. Moving on.
Got a good answer. What is the best way to keep track of how many rounds are shot out of a barrel?
That I do currently. Do.
Okay. I thought you might, and if
Yep.
not, I was going to ask you about what's going on. And anyway,
You see, I should have brought my book with me. That's all right.
you've got a book.
I have a little.
You're learning all sorts of things about you.
So in my kit of range equipment, in my kit bag,
Yep.
I've got a little, what do you call it? Like a little binder. It's from Low Vis Gear. It's for a notepad, pens and pencils. You could put your Kestrel in there. It's for, writing down data and stage notes and all that sort of thing.
Yep.
In there, I've got the Write in the Rain book, and And in the front of that, there's a dedicated section for round count.
Ah.
Now, you can do this on any piece of paper, obviously.
What?
I know, groundbreaking.
Wow.
Any notepad.
You guys tuned in to find out how paper works.
Well, this paper's amazing. It's right in rain. It doesn't rub off. No. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
So essentially, like I'll go to the range, shoot a match, whatever.
Okay.
Come home.
We've covered those things.
That's
yes.
it. Match is over. I've
right.
come back home
Understood.
and essentially when I go to unpack all my ammo, I'll just count up how many rounds I went through, write in the date, how many rounds I shot, and just keep track of it that way.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's an easy thing to do, but yeah, it's one of those little things you just have to keep on top of. Because early on, and with my 223, I was like, oh yeah, I'll keep track of how many rounds my 223 has done as well. And I did it for a little bit and then stopped, and now it's like, well, now I've stopped for a few months and I don't know where I'm at.
It's hard to catch it back up. It's a discipline thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's also a nice record of how often you do go to the range. And like previously, I would have expected, okay, I'm gonna when I buy projectiles, powder, primers, I would typically buy enough for a year, and I was buying 1,000 projectiles, 1,000 primers, and enough powder for the year, and I was like, that will see me out. Well, looking back at my records, in the last year, I've gone through 1,800 rounds, and so I'm like, ooh, I've underestimated how much I shoot.
Not as much as Plushie. Just putting it out
10,000 rounds.
Yeah,
wow,
anyway.
dude.
Anyway,
solid.
So that's one of the other default ways of doing it is buying an X amount of projectiles.
Yes.
And then you'll know, particularly if you started with those or you knew you had 150 rounds on your barrel when you kicked those off and you bought 1,000 projectiles, 500, whatever it is, then you can work out how many projects you got left, and it's going to give you a very – oh, Josh did you fall over, Josh?
No, I just threw something and I might have accidentally hit things. My bad.
Rookie.
Carry on.
Is throwing things a normal part of producing a podcast? We're here. Remy's here to learn. I'm here to learn. We're learning things about Andy.
You've interrupted the conversation flow.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, this is the first podcast that I've ever hosted, so I have no previous experience. So
no,
I'm just
hang on.
Yes.
Slow down. You're not hosting this podcast. Let's just clarify that.
Honestly.
I will clarify myself.
That's a big
I
title.
apologize.
Wow.
That's
sorry.
a big title.
I'll let Remy take over and I'll just go home.
No, I'll go home. You can host. Oh, I'm out. This is perfect.
Where were we?
You can buy
see? You've messed it up. Where were we?
That's producing right there. I think I just spat all over your microphone.
It's sad because I know I'm going to become a snippet right there.
Now, welcome to our world. What was we saying? No, we were sort of talking about buying projectiles and using projectiles or some component that is exclusive to that particular gun as an indication of how many rounds you've done.
Projectiles, primers. Brass probably won't work.
Brass probably won't work. Primers may not work because it's much more likely you'll run primers in multiple cartridges.
Very true.
It's not, you could run the same projectiles in multiple cartridges.
Yep.
That's certainly possible, but it's probably less likely than primers.
Yep.
So hence the reason that was my suggestion.
All over it.
Having said that, that only tells you the number. That doesn't tell you when your barrel is shot out. And you've recently potentially shot your barrel out.
Yeah.
What did you do to work that out? And because the last we spoke, you thought your projectiles were exploding there's something floating in the air. Is it one of your things? Come on, Ninja, get onto it.
I don't know.
I was waiting for the full sound effects and everything. But apparently you failed us. Yes, how did you said your projectiles are exploding before they got to the target, and that was the excuse you gave for not winning the last match.
That's very true. I would have smashed it out of the park if that wasn't the case.
Okay, take that, Ash. Yep.
There was some funky stuff happening in the last match. Happened on a few stages where I took a shot, no splash, no impact, no feedback, and I was just like, that's really weird. Whatever, moving on. Since then, I stripped down my barrel, stripped down my brake, the crown. I've noticed there was a lot of carbon fouling in my muzzle brake. And, I was always told, no, you don't need to clean that. The next shot cleans it out. So, no.
Sure.
No.
Next shot.
Yeah. I cleaned it a little bit, but probably not as thoroughly as I should.
So if you pour the cleaning fluid in with your powder, then that way the gas has the cleaning fluid injected into it, infused into it, some would say.
So you powder charged, a couple of drops of
Correct.
carbon cleaner.
That's exactly what you don't do. Yeah. Okay. So give that a go. Let me know how it runs.
No. Yeah, well, I guess bullshit.
This button has varying degrees of success. Every time you press it, you don't know what you get. And some are really good, like that.
That one.
Some are not so clear.
No. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the button, by the way, Rob. We appreciate 12.5% of it.
So how did I figure that out? Yeah, there was some weird stuff happening at the range. I thought, I'll take this home, give it the biggest clean it's ever had in its life, and really take it back to bare metal in the barrel, the rifling, the brake, figure out, okay, what's going on here. I did borrow your bore scope, and I watched some YouTube clips on like what to look for, what not to look for. How do you know when, your throat's wearing out, when your rifling's wearing out? And as I was looking through my barrel, I was like, yeah, this is looking like everything it shouldn't.
Ticking every single box.
Yeah. You just got like sort of small bits of rifling missing. I've got massive heat cracks for like halfway down the barrel. It just looks like a mess. It was, pretty rough condition. And like, to be fair, like a 6mm going 30, 50 feet per second. It's had about 1,800 rounds through it now. It's cooked.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. It was good to see though.
Okay.
In the
because you've really discovered this in from the performance sort of things. So is this connected to the barrels, the projectiles just combusting?
Well, I'm still not totally sure what happened there. So I'm thinking maybe because there was a fair bit of carbon build up around the crown, and then the last couple of baffles in my brake, maybe it was striking and then it would just come out, and sometimes it was just hitting the ground like 50 to 100 meters in front.
Yeah.
Well, if I was more prepared, I'd be able to show you this, but we actually have a clip that Andy took that we can put up on screen for the viewers at home, and then maybe they can leave us a comment as to what they think could be going on.
So not the live viewers.
The live viewers can, yes.
Oh, the live viewers can.
Yes, we have a clip ready.
Just make sure you show them that I did hit some of the targets, please.
They don't believe
I've
you
already
anyway.
edited that out. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I will pop that up while you continue talking.
Okay. Yep. So we'll watch this clip. Andy, do you want to take us through this clip that you can't see?
Can I hear it?
You can.
Okay.
All right.
Apparently not. It's not playing audio, so sorry.
Okay. That's all right. So this
was an impact.
Okay. How many rounds are we in?
And that one hit the ground.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That was it. Good. You should get into commentary.
I'll come back to that and I'll get you audio.
Andy, you should do react videos. Because with commentary like that, you are all over this.
So
my hype button's not working.
No. Well, essentially that stage was just 10 shots prone. I thought it was 10 shots prone. And the previous stage, there was something weird happening. Yep. So a couple of the guys were like, all right, we'll get behind the spotting scopes. And I thought, I've got a phone mount for my binos, so I'll mount that up and filmed it. And sure enough, my 9th shot in just hit dirt. Like 100 meters in front of me.
So something's going on, but it may not have been what you thought originally.
No, so what did I think originally? Just a burnt out barrel.
You thought your projectiles were just exploding midair.
Yes, so I did hear a couple of people say if they're going really quick and they're spun up super fast, maybe maybe you've got some rough rifling that's cutting into the jacket a little bit too much. It might cause that.
Doing something.
Yeah, but after cleaning and inspecting my barrel and the brake and everything, it's probably striking the brake on its way out.
Okay.
And causing them to tumble or
I will
whatever.
play it back with audio this
time. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Andy, take us through it. Shot.
All right, so I hit that target. Yep. Hit that one. Now this one.
Your commentary is riveting.
Whoa.
Whoa! What happened there?
What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing. So,
hey Josh, you know that feeling you get when you're like, that's going to be a snippet.
Yeah.
Yep, right there.
Right there.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
So, it was weird. So anyway, that's what was happening. And, it all comes back to my maintenance of the rifle.
What maintenance?
My lack of
Yeah,
maintenance.
that sounds more accurate.
on the rifle. So
Yep.
it's sort of like a lot of people have different opinions on PRS rifles or cleaning in general. They say only clean carbon, never clean copper, only clean your rifle when you see accuracy dropping off, all this sort of thing. And for that rifle, the first 1,200 rounds, I didn't see any accuracy drop off.
Yeah.
And I'd clean for carbon a little bit, like maybe 2 patches, a light brush, and then dry patches out.
Yep.
But I never really scrubbed it to get rid of all the carbon.
Yep.
And I think I only cleaned my muzzle brake once in that time.
Right.
So lack of cleaning.
So where do you go from here? Are you replacing your barrel? What's next?
Yes, I'm trying to tee something up with a barrel. Obviously, I will need a new one in the future anyway, so I'd love to try and get 2 spun up at the same time.
Okay.
Just to see me out. If I'm getting 1, I may as well get 2.
One is none.
That's
One is
it.
none.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. This is why we have 2 hosts, because one is none.
Yeah, just be crap with me. Yeah.
Or me.
So yeah,
I think there's an old episode of this podcast where it's just me. And
That exists?
yeah, that exists.
wow.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a long way back. It's
Yeah,
a
okay.
long way back. And it's not good.
No,
It's not good. I mean, normally this podcast is average at best. This is worse. So
it's interesting.
Notice we only did one.
Speaking of useful things, though, we have a comment to
Oi.
do with your barrel situation.
Who is it first?
It's from Ben Bravo.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He has said, not a bad idea to have a control projectile set aside with an OAL gauge to measure throat erosion with the Hornady gauge across the barrel's life. Said he checks distance to the lands before every shoot. It's handy to know that the throat's eroding and to keep a record of it with the round count.
Yeah, that would be a smart thing to do.
So there's no chance of you doing that.
No, so like going back to what you said, where to now? So I've cleaned out my barrel completely, all copper, all carbon, cleaned the brake. Essentially, I'm starting from square one with a burnt out barrel.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
So I do have the records of what was my jam, what was my seating length, all of that to the lands and stuff. And I have compared it, but I find the way that I do it's probably not the most accurate. So I'm not getting the best results anyway.
Sure.
So I'm just running the same seating length and
Yeah. Okay. So now that
Whatever.
your throat has eroded, which kudos to Ben for finding a way to be able to keep track of that.
yeah.
As he goes along, you may need to seat further out, so you are
Yes.
remaining the same distance from the lands that you were previously, if that was working for you.
Now that would be a good thing if you were a good reloader to start with. But see,
I see your problem.
when,
I see you doing
when I first got this barrel,
Yep.
and I was like, I'll just knock something up. So I went.
And you've run like that ever since, eh?
Essentially,
Yeah.
I did load development once.
Oh, yeah.
I did choose a relatively high load
Yep.
and just stuck with that. And, luckily for myself, it was consistent and accurate. And I used the EC tuner on the end and brought it in, and it was punching clover leaves. And I was like, sweet, why go any further? And that's what I ran for the last 1,700 rounds. So
Away we go.
away we go.
Yeah, nice.
So
Nice, that's the way to do it.
I'm going back and doing, okay, I need to find a velocity flat spot and try and work out what I'm doing. And I did go to the range and tried some loads, going up in 0.3 grain increments.
Yep.
And because it was essentially a bare barrel, I had 15 rounds to foul it up and build up a bit of copper and carbon.
Yep.
And then I did a 5-shot group of each powder charge.
Yep.
And then I went back to the start and did another 5-shot group.
Yep.
The second 5-shot group of each powder charge was consistently 5 to 10 feet per second quicker. And it's like, wow, oh yeah, barrel's still speeding up from cleaning it out and now laying in new copper and carbon, it's speeding up again.
Starting again. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I'm just sort of working my way through that, trying to figure out what I'm going to use at Mildura. Is what it is.
Love your confidence.
Quality content.
Quality. All right, so you're just running with how it was, but you've cleaned your barrel out.
Cleaned it right out, and I'll probably, back my charge right down. I'll probably sit around the 2850, 2900 feet per second.
Okay. Just to wind it back a little bit.
Wind it back a bit. Try and save it until I get the new barrel spun up.
Okay. Are you going to stay with the same cartridge?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Josh, am I interrupting you hosting the show?
We do have another.
Please host.
Okay.
Host away.
We have another question.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we have another question from Andrew Lawn. I guess not a question, just a statement.
A comment. I'll take that as a comment.
Sure.
Yeah.
He suspects it could be fouling in the barrel, stripping the jacket off the projectile with the velocity and revolutions. The projectile essentially blows apart. Could that potentially be it?
I'll take anything.
I've heard that about you.
Okay. Damn it. There's at least one.
There's always one.
Yeah, I mean, that video you played sort of showed that the bullet hit
I remember
the ground
seeing
in front. Yeah, like it's just comes to me. And then other guys did say that they saw shots that you just saw like a cloud of dust just halfway down range. You just see poof.
There's all the carbon coming out your barrel that you hadn't cleaned off.
Yeah, so I could have been a mixture of both.
Oh, no, Sam's going to edit that when you went like that. He's been like, that's an edit point. Oh, I know.
You're going to have the rainbow pop up.
When you do like that.
It is now.
Yeah.
That just sealed the deal.
Wow, so you're going to be shooting a GT next. No, you're going to say he's staying with the same cartridge?
Yeah. I'll keep running the 6 Creed.
Yep. Dyes, brass, I mean, new brass, but
I've invested in 800 pieces of lap brass for 6 Creed, and I'm not going to chase another type of cartridge and learn all that again. So
okay,
I
haven't really learned it this time.
No,
sounds of things.
So I'll just stick with it, and it's working.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, some people have asked me why don't I go to the BR, or the BRI, actually,
BRX, BRI,
all that sort of stuff,
all sorts of options. BRA.
And obviously getting the same sort of performance.
Is the BRA?
BRA, that's the one.
I was going to say BRI. There's another one. I haven't heard of that one yet.
I've just made it up.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Perfect. Look forward to launching that.
It's not Ackley improved. It's just improved in general.
Ackley had nothing to do with this one.
No.
Yeah.
We have one last comment on that from Andrew. He said, I only mention it because it may or may not have happened to a friend.
Oh.
Is Andrew claiming to have friends, is he?
Apparently so.
Okay. Most people I know called Andrew don't have friends.
Oh. That's true. Yeah, well, I mean...
Andrew Lawn is a lovely bloke and would have many friends.
Yeah.
Many friends.
Very well could be. I don't know how you test that or prove it. But I do know my brake was pretty well fouled up.
Well no, hang on. Let's wind back to some information you gave us at some point. You said you shot paper. And there was more holes in the paper than bullets you sent.
No.
Okay.
No, they were just. I took some shots
shot really poorly.
Yeah.
No, I thought you said that there was more holes in the target than actually.
No. There was a target that I'd shot at.
Yep.
2 shots prone, and there was just nothing.
Okay, so just not very good.
Yeah. So whether
okay.
Oh, but the other targets had hits on them.
Okay, all right.
So whether they tumbled or exploded halfway down range.
I must not have been listening to you correctly.
That's fair enough.
Normal. And I thought that because that's how you'd show it is you'd put paper at whatever distance, and if your bullet's going through comfortably, then cool. But
if it's a shotgun pattern,
if you're shooting shotguns and you're sort of getting a grouping of 3 from one shot, you've got problems.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Or you are not hitting at all. That's potentially a problem, but
yeah, sometimes I'll aim at the dirt in front of the target.
Andrew, and then if Andrew is still watching, hello.
Hello.
And tell us how did you resolve it? Did your friend resolve it?
Yeah, that'd be good to know.
Questions aren't always in real time. We have to sit here and wait for an answer now.
Well, that's true. I mean, he's got to go contact his friend.
Oh yeah, his friend. Yeah.
We just start playing some elevator music and wait.
You got some?
Play the intro. Roll the intro.
If I was a good producer, I would.
Yeah. Okay. We could be waiting a while. Remy, get onto it.
We did have a comment from Plushy though.
Oh no,
that guy's here and watching apparently.
Damn it.
Okay.
He was talking about the grain increments.
Mm-hmm.
He said 0.3 grain.
We're not a
increments
farming
are-
podcast.
I'll just delete him and block him off the stream now.
Okay.
He said 0.3 grain increments are a pretty big jump for 6 Creed case capacity. He said you may possibly miss a velocity node. I'd suggest dropping to 0.2 grain increases.
What you
And
think?
sorry.
You think my trickler's that
When
accurate?
did where did Plushy finish last match compared to you? just asking the question.
I can't remember.
Neither can I actually. No idea. What do you think about that?
It is a bit of a jump. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's sort of how much testing do you do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I mean, that there is a legitimate question there of how deep do you go? How much do you want? I mean, you're not the type of shooter so much that goes to extreme details on those. You get something that's pretty good, and then because you actually are a pretty competent shooter in those things when you pay attention, you then allow your other skills to sort of make up for perhaps that extra
Lack of reloading.
10th or whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
correct.
I'd say
Imagine if you were good at 2 things. 3 things. One would be counting.
Start at step 1.
Yeah, like definitely if it was like let's go like a fly shoot or an F-class shoot, then yeah, definitely spend
It's a different story.
Invest that time and effort, and like with your powdered trickler, you've got Plushy. Like definitely you can smash that out really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was sitting there. I think I did maybe 3 or 4 hours of reloading, just trickling powder. I was like, I'm not going to spend too much time doing this. Just find something that works, half MOA, run it. I'm just looking sort of for the, like, I guess, like you said, velocity, flat spot. But if I just find a velocity node that sort of is within 8 to 10 standard deviation, I'll run that.
Run with it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
If we were shooting a match out to like a K or maybe like a mile, then I'd spend more time because you'd get your more vertical
becoming more of a factor.
Yeah. You'd get that vertical dispersion. But
so when
500-600
these
meters,
ranges start getting longer, you're saying you're going to drop down the leaderboard.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. My win rating's
Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
But I think at 500-600 meters.
I think our host interrupted us.
I did.
Again.
Andrew is actually having a conversation with us.
Good.
It takes some time on the internet.
Oh, got
sweet.
back.
All right.
We should get better internet.
What were we talking about before, like 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Is how many friends people called Andrew have?
Yeah. Apparently he knows a gunsmith. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, to his actual question, his comment.
Yep.
He says, a gunsmith checked the barrel and found excessive copper/carbon fouling that was most likely reasonable cause of the jackets being stripped on the projectile. Said this caused so much instability downrange that it had the same look as the video that was just shown before. He said he was spotting on the day and saw it as well.
Fascinating.
There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
We have another comment from Dirty Fox.
Yep.
I cleaned a barrel on my...
Wait. Someone dirty cleaned something? This is problematic from the beginning.
It's so controversial.
Oh, wow. It's hot topics right now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, where's the other button
We're
gone?
matching again.
Oh, we're matching shirts. Oh, yes. Didn't even plan that.
Anyway, back to the dirty
what are we doing?
fox.
Back to the host.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Said I cleaned the barrel on my 102 in 308.
It's a Lithgow.
Okay, cool. That makes
I'm glad the host knows guns.
It took me 6 to 8 rounds to foul it back in again, running ADI 168 factory ammo and have just 200 rounds through it.
Okay.
Yeah, I found in the first.
How was your fouling? You showed me some numbers. Don't bring the numbers out because people won't be able to see them. But you had. Tell me about how you did that. Did the thing that you showed me before. Talk about it on the podcast because that's how we communicate stuff.
Can we show that on this podcast?
I'm not sure we can show some of Andy's notebooks.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was just checking.
Okay.
Well, back to what Dirty Fox is saying.
Yes.
You definitely. I mean, I definitely had a velocity jump when I first got the barrel. When it was brand new, I had about 50 feet per second after the first 100 rounds. And after completely cleaning it, copper and carbon, and the load testing I did, so I shot. I think I said it before. So I had 4 different grain increments, 5 rounds of each, and then I went back to the start and did another 5. In the second round of 5 shots were, a 5 to 15 feet per second quicker than the first. So even after that 20, 30 rounds, it was still speeding up again with a shot out barrel. So
yeah, right.
I don't know what else to say. Host. Yeah.
So you did certainly see that it fouled. How many shots would you say it took to foul it back in?
Well, I'm not really sure. That day I took about 50 shots.
Yeah, because I saw a significant difference in your barrel on that first. You did a first round of testing and then the second round of testing, and the first round was testing was 20 shots or so.
Yeah.
Yep. And so we certainly 10 shots, 15 shots, 20 shots in, you start seeing some changes.
Yeah, and to the end of my testing, about 50 rounds in, it was still increasing in speed. So I'm not sure when or how long it will take to start getting stable. I'm heading out this weekend to try a lower charge weight to try and get the slower velocity, see if I can find something down there a bit more stable.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll start to see it settle in. But if not, I'll just run hard again.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let's burn this barrel out even more. The ground. Yeah,
nice. And so this weekend is the weekend before a match.
Yes.
What is on your cards to practice to try? Obviously, you've talked about trying to find a load that's going to work for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything more to that, or are you just trying to recover a barrel?
Yeah, recover a barrel. Find a load that will work. Just confirm velocities.
Yep.
The range that we're going to is just paper at 100 or 200 meters.
Okay, all right. Can you positional shoot or anything?
No, I mean they have benches so you could stand behind the bench or go prone.
Will you do any of that sort of stuff, or will you just really work on the load rather than the positional stuff?
Yeah, I think while I'm at the range there and I've got the testing, I'll take my time and just do the testing because obviously you don't want to rush it too much, get your barrel really hot and make it worse. So I'll just steadily go through the day and do my testing. I'll do a bit more dry fire and that sort of positional stuff at home rather than send more rounds through my barrel. And then I've got my brother-in-law coming with me. I've got to put a new scope on his rifle. One of my old scopes onto his, get him zeroed in and sussed out. So, should be a good day. But, all the positional sort of stuff. If I have time, I'll play with at home.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Yeah. Nervous. I'm not sure if I'll get there on the Friday to have a bit of a sight in. So, this weekend's it.
So this might be it, and then you'll roll in and run whatever you've got.
That's it. I'll be cranking out. Someone got a Labrador for my first stage. Need some velocities.
Yeah, I've seen guys shoot stages with the magneto speeds on.
Yeah.
Yep. Because much the same. They need some data. They need some info.
That's it.
You may as well. You might, and some people do, and some people don't see an accuracy change or a point of impact shift on that, and it's worthwhile doing that to be able to get the data.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's good. No, that's all right. Well, I have been tidying up targets and doing all this sort of thing all the prep work because traditionally Ben Jarrett had planned to run this match the last 2 years. And then has, for other commitments and new jobs and other bits and pieces, he is not able to do it. So he has sent me some of the targets that he's planned to run.
Yep.
Plus then there's all the normal targets. He's got some specific ones, which, I guess we'll elaborate on after the match. Because people will see it.
That's it.
I believe they're targets people haven't seen or shot before. So that looks very good. And so I'm taking his course of fire and basically running his
match. Cool.
Running the match, which will be good. And so I look forward to seeing how that goes. But I'm away this weekend and other bits and pieces and then we're off next week. So
busy times.
Trying to get everything packed and done and loaded up. So we are good to go. Good to go. Learn what we could from Travi running the last one and the meltdown and apply that and make some tweaks and go from there for Mildura.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, looking forward to it. But lots to get done. But Mildura is always a good time. Always a good
that's
time.
good.
It's good. It's a good range. You've shot Mildura before?
What was that? 3 or 4 years ago when I was back in production class.
2019.
19?
Yeah. Because 2018 was the first series and you weren't on the
No.
scene for that.
I was helping out around the place on a few,
Yeah, that's right.
ones. Yep.
And then 2019, we shot your first series and your only series because it's the
Yeah.
only series. It's
Yeah. What am I even doing here? Like, I've shot one series, guys.
Yeah, fair
Jeez.
enough. Yeah, I haven't shot any. So yeah, and then we away we go.
Yeah.
Away we go.
No, it'll be good fun. It'll be good to get back up there. Got the camper van, heading to a caravan
Is
park.
that what you a caravan park? Not camping on site?
No, we thought about it.
Yeah.
But then we thought, it'd be nice to sort of, I guess, have a bit of space and a hot shower and, I don't know, closer to town if we needed to duck off for something. But
Which town are you staying close to?
Redcliffe.
Redcliffe's cool. That's a good one. There's a
closest one.
good club close
Yeah.
by, and it's about an 8-minute drive.
Yeah.
From there.
Might suss out a dog show. Apparently there's something else on.
There is a dog show in town.
Why are we
Yep.
going to PRS then? I'm just going to be there.
I've already entered you as in the dog show.
Perfect.
I hope you're. I don't know what dogs do at dog show.
Hope you've got your collar.
I'll pull my fanciest one out.
Good,
Remy, can you hold the leash?
I will.
Yeah, someone
pleasure.
needs to. All right, good. Well, Josh will be entered in the dog show, and Andy will slide his further way down the leaderboard while his gun doesn't work.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, good claim. Yeah,
But hey, at least I've got excuses. So,
they are banked in.
yeah,
They're ready to roll.
that's it.
Yeah, nice, man, nice. Well, sorry,
Did I
you've pointed at me. Yo,
Did I forgot to say, I bought something. My missus and I bought something for the house.
oh right, you did. Is this appropriate to talk on? Oh, actually, we talk about all sorts.
We
of
talk
rubbish
about
on this
all
podcast.
aspects, all aspects for those who.
That's the old.
back.
That's the old one.
That's
yeah,
it.
we removed that because we just wanted to not
it's-
talk about everything.
Well, so it's not really shooting related, but I found a lot of similarities in reloading.
Okay,
Coffee machine.
you
Bought a coffee machine.
bought a coffee machine. Well, this is good
And-
news. Why don't you bring this? Yeah, I know why you didn't bring this up because you wanted to bring this up on here.
Yeah.
Tell me all about your coffee machine because the other 3 people in the room, big coffee fans.
Other 3, 2 for you.
Me and these 2,
Okay.
and then you're the 4th. So there's 3 other people.
I can only count to 2. Remember.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
So it's just a home, a small compact home one. Breville.
Are you getting paid for that?
Did we get a new sponsor?
I should.
Turns out we did. Yeah.
So before that, we were rocking just a grinder and a mocha pot, and we
Okay.
thought, all right, come on, I need to step up my game
Here we go. All right.
And since buying this basic machine, which comes with the bits and pieces, I'm like, nah, this isn't good enough. I need a new portafiller, need a new basket, might need a new grinder, I need a tamper, like a good tamper. Like,
Right.
And this whole process of, okay, how many beans to the basket, to how long is the pour time, to how many mils should I get extracting to the weight of the beans, it's like reloading. It's like, I want to buy all this new gear.
Upgrades, changes. Yeah, okay.
It's full on.
I've got a super important question
host.
from Robert, and he's asked,
Is it coffee
how many
related?
grains in each coffee?
Grains.
Yes, how many grains in each coffee?
Oh, what's the grams to grains conversion? Jeez.
Well, you got a phone, go for it.
No, I'm running double shots, so I'm hitting up around the 18, 19 grams of coffee in the morning.
Okay.
Getting a good solid hit. I had one tonight when I got home. The double shot.
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm buzzing.
Well, if only you were the host of the show, you get a bit. Josh has taken on that.
Yeah.
I didn't have coffee. I let down the team. So
Yeah.
I will try harder next
I
time.
was out today when everyone made coffee. Yeah, so I didn't
So
get my
rude.
afternoon coffee, and obviously my performance has shown it.
Yeah. You know what I've done with some of the because I've been
I don't 'cause
playing
you
around
haven't
and
told us yet.
testing coffee shots and all that sort of stuff and working out what works.
Yeah.
All the leftover coffee, slap it in the fridge, and when you feel like it, make yourself a good iced coffee. Just dump sugar in there, the milk, shake it up with some ice.
We're gonna. Have we gone full coffee? Is this?
I think this is full coffee.
I think we stay tuned, everyone, for how we relate this back to reloading in a moment.
Tamping is like seeding a projectile.
Wait, we're talking about your horrific effort of putting hot coffee into the fridge, and then that's apparently good for iced coffee. No, Andy.
Is this the last show
No.
that he's on?
Correct. No, cold brew. Cold brew is where
Oh, yeah.
you need to leverage your cold brewing to create iced coffees.
Well, that would be ideal, but I haven't got the bench space for a cold brew kit.
Well, you do now because you've just moved your reloading gear aside and become coffee obsessed.
That's it. Oh, dear.
I see your connection though. I see a connection where you've got there is a lot that can go on with coffee and lots of variables and lots of changes. We are currently awaiting the desire to buy new scales for
nice.
not waiting for the desire. We have the desire. We're awaiting the time to buy the correct scales because when we started, it was Josh and I, and we had
Go team.
Chemex coffees, and then we got a few more people in the team, so we bought a larger. We do pour over or filter coffee, because we're wankers like that, and then we bought a bigger one, but we bought such a big one that when we got more people now, that the scale times out and runs out of ability to measure.
Spewing.
You end up just having to wing it.
Yeah. Yeah, we wing it all right, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that's one thing where it falls down with our connection to reloading. Don't wing it.
Yeah, but that's what I do in reloading. So
You got them round the wrong way.
no, I beg to differ.
But no, I get your point. I get your connection where it is that there's so much nuance with it. There's so many things you can do one way or the other, and in much the same reloading. And there is this this for those two guys who are getting in. I've spoken to a couple of new guys getting into reloading in the last week or so, which I always enjoy doing. But there is this the ability to just delve deeper and deeper and deeper into both things we're talking about, but into reloading particularly. And a lot of guys think, "Oh, what else do I need?" I'm like, "Well, there's 400 more things you could probably want to get, but I'm not going to bring them up yet because there's more stuff you'll get, but work out if you want that stuff yet because you can, like yourself, there's a bunch of stuff you can get, and you go and you start." And away you go. And then you start adding to the collection and fine-tuning and putting a little bit more into the mix.
Yeah. You can make good ammo with the real basic kit. Yeah.
So let me.
I thought we were still talking about coffee.
No, bit of both. Come on, producer, stick with it.
No,
Host, he's the host.
Sorry, apparently Steve says that coffee is crazier than reloading.
Well,
especially after you've tried every.
Yeah, I mean, if you reload and then shoot 10 rounds. Well, you reload and then you shoot 10 shots. You can walk away from that and feel good. Yeah. If you make coffee and then you drink 10 shots, there's other impacts.
You got to sample it.
Yeah, that's right. But it has some more impacts on the remainder of your day.
Running to the toilet and then you're like walking out of the toilet. Let's go. Let's make more coffee. Now I should start reloading.
Yeah, there isn't a whole nother discussion we can have of the connection with coffee and reloading. In fact, that's why for Projectile Warehouse we took on Ironside, because they're like, you could sit back and like reload and have a coffee while you're doing that. Just perhaps don't have 14 coffees while you're reloading because your rounds might get powder everywhere. That's, that is the connection. Yeah.
Halfway through the trickle and the charge master, you're like, no, that's good enough.
Quicker.
That's it.
There was some more actual legitimate connection I was going to make there, but perhaps
I guess it goes back to the process when you're trying to find something that works. It's sort of like you change one thing at a time and you test it. Try to.
Yeah, that's what you meant to do. Correct.
That's what you meant to do.
Yeah.
And then you might find an issue there, so you rectify that, test that, and then change something else. And it's like, so you got seating depth, neck tension, the amount of powder, neck sizing, full length sizing, different primers, all that sort of stuff. And then in coffee, you got grind size, the amount of coffee, tamper pressure, I don't know. I'm just getting into it. So who knows?
Do you want to hear about the worst coffee I've ever had?
Was it one I made?
No.
Oh, good. Yes.
I made.
Continue.
We'll get to that in a second, Josh. There's two. Actually, the two worst coffees come to mind. All right. One of them was at an airport. And I was there with a gentleman you would know by the name of Ben Johnson, who has been on this podcast, although you have to scroll back a long way to find those. Ben is a lovely bloke, built the showroom downstairs, partially painted this wall, did some good things. Anyway, Ben's top bloke. Likes his coffee fairly sweet, although used to. And so we were on our way to, I think, Queensland for Shot Expo. And we've gone, he's like, I'm going to grab a coffee before we jump on the plane. No worries, easy done. He's like, I would like and then proceeded to say 14 or 15 words type coffee. And at this point, I was still relatively new to coffee. And I was starting to find my sort of feel, but not enough. I'm like, okay, I'll try that. So I just walked up and I said, I'll have what he's having. And good line. It's a good line. Didn't turn out that good that time. No. So we got our coffees, and then we heard our names come over the radio that we were waited on for our flights, which is cool because the coffee place was like right next to the departure lounge, like one bay across. So we've run down there, and I have taken a sip of this coffee, and it has hit my mouth, and I have just winced and pursed the lips and gone, what on earth is this monstrosity?
Yep.
And it was so sweet and sickly and 400 different flavors of vanilla, and I didn't really understand it. And so I'm a bit of a daze as to the impact that's just happened on me. And I've walked over to the thing, scanned the ticket, and she's like, "Oh, you can't take hot drinks on the plane." And I'm like, "That is the best news I've had all day," and just yeeted it into the bin. Got onto the plane. Anyway, I've walked down the ramp, and then I've looked back, and Ben is sculling his coffee. Oh, I mean, he's syrup of sugar and vanilla with coffee in it, apparently, down, and then commences that, and then walks down the plane. He's like, "How was your coffee?" I'm like, "Better in the bin."
Yeah.
It was. That was, I don't know if that was my worst or my second worst, because the other coffee story I have, now that we're a reloading podcast, we have behind you up there, we have usually about 4 different flavors of coffee
on
the go.
I know where this is
you know
going.
where this is going, Josh. And this has to be my worst. That was my worst experience of a coffee that shouldn't ever have been coffee. This is my worst experience of coffee. And we have 4 different flavors at any one time, and so you'll grab a flavor, like, what do we feel like today? We'll try this one. We like to experiment with flavors. And it must have been a situation where there wasn't enough of any of them to make enough coffee.
No, just get up and leave now.
No.
I don't end this story well.
And so Josh has decided to blend it.
Oh, wow.
Now, we've got 2 coffee suppliers. Wow, we have become a coffee podcast. Sorry if you don't like coffee. And if you love it, you're loving this. This is great.
No decaf.
We found a new audience. And so he has put all 4 flavors in. Now we got
3. It was only 3.
Whatever.
We'll correct that.
And so we have 2 main suppliers for our coffee now that Ironside's not around. One of them sort of favors the fruitier side of coffee, and one of them favors like the caramels and chocolates and that sort of like
that dark roast choc caramel.
Yeah,
blends.
that sort of thing, right?
They're amazing.
Josh put them all together. And normally I've not had a bad Chemex coffee, a normal pour over coffee. You get some interesting flavors, some that are like, okay, that's unique. Unique's an appropriate word. This was not unique in a good way. I tasted this, and this was effectively like an army of 400 different fruits and caramels and chocolates that had all gone sour and started attacking my tongue with a knife.
You're welcome. Yeah.
And it was not enjoyable, and I'm not actually sure why Josh is still here, to be fair. So I think that was my worst coffee experience. It was just
sounds like
I didn't realize we had the ability here to make bad coffee, but I was proven wrong. Wrong.
I'm glad I could make an experience that you remember.
Thank you. Thank you. I was going to say, since then, I've made a bad coffee. Well done. Well done. You've improved.
Thank you. It's only been like 3 weeks.
That was ages ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I'm still scarred from it. Yeah.
Anyway. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I think I had like 2 sips.
Okay.
And that coffee disappeared down the sink very subtly.
I do not think I drank much of it at all.
I think Sam was actually the only one that sort of grunted through it and finished his coffee.
Is that because
So
he
kudos
doesn't?
to Sam.
Is that because he doesn't know how to use a Chemex and couldn't make another one?
That's the new like employment, like like try this. Tell me.
So, Josh, as a host, I have a question for. As a producer, actually, I have a question for you. Have we got any viewers watching left after we diverted down the coffee part?
Actually, surprisingly, we do. Kudos to those that stuck around.
All right, there we go. Anyway, that's it. So, Andy, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Not this weekend. No, good luck this weekend with
This
your
weekend.
testing, and then more so, good luck in the next for the Mildura match.
Cheers.
Hopefully, we have it all organised and done by then.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Yeah, we're going to need it. So that is it. Tune in for more Impact Dynamics coffee podcasts in the future. Cheers, Josh, Remy.
Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.